We need to stop saying that white people don't have culture because it actually helps white supremacy, and I'm going to explain. I literally got my anthropology notes out like from 2 years ago to specifically make this video, so stick with me. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible, so I'm going to be moving fast. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast for some of you guys. But in anthropology, there are 4 subsections. Those 4 subsections include archaeology, bioanthropology, linguistic anthropology, and social cultural anthropology. Now, the one that we're worried about specifically with who's deciding what is considered culture is going to be that social cultural anthropology, although archaeology has something to do with it given the fact that they're the ones digging things up. And obviously they're all interconnected, but that's not the point today. And I know that I get in some of my mentions people being like, well, you're just a woke liberal because you got educated. And like, yes, anthropology did drag me very, very far left, very, very fast. However, anthropology as a subject was not always like that. I promise you, it actually has its history in colonialism, and that's very important for what I'm about to explain. Anthropology used to just be the British send an old white dude and be like, hey, teach us about this culture so we can use it against them so we can colonize them faster. Also, we've got the Indiana Jones types of archaeology where they just go to places and then they steal shit. The way that cultural anthropologists do this is specifically called an ethnography. So what that means is that they go to said culture, they sit down and they write. What that used to be is that they sit down and they would write objective facts. But eventually anthropology was like, maybe that's not exactly the best idea. Maybe we should actually explain with our writings our own reflections as we go and include our subjective biases within. You observing someone's culture, you're coming from your own culture, so therefore no one is truly objective. But why? Why would it help white people, and specifically white colonizers, to say that they have no culture? That's because they're trying to pretend to be objective. With objectivity comes authority. So this quote is from Herskovits at the Heart of Blackness. It's a documentary about this guy called Herskovits who helped create African studies in the United States. I think that it really summarizes it very well. Authority didn't have an identity. Authority spoke with the voice of the universe, yet white voices are seen as neutral, as though they have no real identity, making whiteness the center of our universe. This concept was further developed later on when they said, if you're black, you have a stake in racism, in talking about racism, but if you're white, then you can talk about it objectively. That's why we've got to stop saying that white people don't have culture. So 1, the idea of white versus black is obviously very useful for racism and white supremacy. But 2, it conveniently erases all of the culture of colonialism and just makes it seem more objective.